Let me bring in family law attorney Holly Davis. Holly, the million-dollar question is, where is this guy? I asked my guest yesterday where she thinks he may be. I want to ask you the same question. Any thoughts, please?
I mean, he's hiding in the wild. He's doing exactly what he knows what to do. He's doing exactly what he came home to Florida and then left with his parents to do, and that's to be outside, be camping somewhere. And what do we do when we've got a defendant or person of interest that's able to hide in the wild? We look at camping sites, always the Appalachian Trail. And I think that we really have to scan these really vast hiking trails and camping grounds and parks, national parks that really were the start of the relationship with Gabby, and also where she died. And I think it's very safe to assume he's at another national park hiding out and shifting between national parks.
Let's play another clip from the sheriff of Watauga County, North Carolina, talking about just how difficult this search for Brian Laundrie is.
We do have a university here, 21,000 students, and it's pretty easy to mix in. It's not unusual for this area to have cars from all over the United States this time of year. The leaves are starting to turn, and so it generates a lot of that type of activity.
Okay, Holly, so now it's North Carolina. That's where the focus is. But we know it's been largely on that reserve in Florida, the swampy area that spans 25,000 acres that is very, very dangerous for these investigators. Any thoughts on them going there? Because right at the outset, I said all along, I hope they have more corroboration to go to the swamp than just the parents telling them. Because if the parents are saying, oh, yeah, that's where we last saw our son, I would think to go the opposite direction, go to North Carolina or someplace else. Your thoughts, please.
Exactly. I mean, those poor, I'm not sympathizing with the parents, but what an interesting dilemma they're in. And that's going to have to be bared out on the legal process. They've either lied to the authorities or they won't lie to the authorities, and that's on them. If I were the police, I'd be looking at the places outside of these national parks because he's got to eat somehow. He's got to fill up on gas in his trailer. So I would be looking at the outskirts of these national parks where someone at a gas station will recognize him. And what people who commit these crimes kind of assume is that they'll blend in, but this has received almost unprecedented national attention. And Brian Laundrie is on everybody's Facebook feed and Instagram feed, and this has received international attention. So I am confident that in a short amount of time, call it less than 3 months, he's going to appear, and some gas station clerk or some checkout person at a grocery store or some person taking his cash for a camping site is going to be the person that turns it into the authorities, because you can't hide for very long.
Right. There's another clip kind of goes to that point from the sheriff in North Carolina and Watauga County talking about just whether or not somebody could survive in this area where he's believed to be staying or believed to have been last spotted. Let's take a look at that together now.
It's definitely can be. There's a lot of acreage that people could hide, and of course, to the south of us, Eric Rudolph was found and was in the woods for many years. So but in wintertime you'd have to be pretty tough. We do have several ski resorts, and so it could get pretty cold here.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. I mean, the temperature now is going to change. As we know, we're entering fall here, and Brian Laundrie, I mean, who knows what he may have taken with him, right? I mean, getting out of that house, too. I mean, that's the other mystery, right, Holly? Like, nobody saw him leave the house, and what he had with him, how much he had with him, or if somebody met him somewhere and helped him. I mean, it seems like lots of different scenarios can be at play. I just feel like it's so unfortunate that law enforcement is behind on this one, through no fault of their own, but just through the way this kind of went down, right? With him coming home without her, a delay in her family realizing it, so a delay in the reporting, and then his parents delaying their actions by 3 days. It's a real shame, isn't it?
And the secrets lie with the Laundries. The information we all need lies with Brian Laundrie's parents. And that's what I believe from afar as a legal analyst, that the truth lies with his parents, or information that's helpful lies with his parents. And whether or not they choose to do the right thing and give that information to the authorities, even if that means the conviction or at least the investigation and the trial of their son for the murder of Gabby, will really remain to be seen. We'll see what their values are. We'll see what information they have shared with the authorities. Because it seems to me like when a son goes home and then 3 days later they choose to report him missing, there's a lot of information within that 72 hours. So the secrets lie with the Laundries.